All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about an absolutely incredible story of pressure, of history on the line, and it all comes down to a single fateful move from day 3 of the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz.
So, on the final day of the Rapid tournament, you've got one player, Fabiano Caruana, who is just this close to making history. If he wins, he gets a final score of 16 out of 18 points. I mean, that's a score so dominant, one commentator actually called it, and you gotta love this, disrespectful to the rest of the field. Just unbelievable.
Now, to really get why the pressure on Fabi was just immense, you have to understand that his story was being told on 2 totally different scoreboards.
Okay, so first, let's look at his performance in this tournament. It was, nothing short of phenomenal. He's heading into the final game with 14 out of a possible 16 points. That's an almost perfect, just completely dominant run. But then, you zoom out and look at the overall Grand Chess Tour standings, and wow, the picture could not be more different. Before this event even started, Fabi was kind of languishing down near the bottom. He desperately needed a huge, massive result here just to have a shot at qualifying for the Tour Finals.
So you see, this final game wasn't just about winning another tournament. No. This was about redemption. It was about locking in his spot in the finals and, of course, etching his name into the history books for good.
And who's the guy standing in his way? Who's the final hurdle? Oh, just the reigning world champion, the totally uncompromising and super aggressive Gukesh D. No big deal, right? The matchup was just perfect. You've got Caruana with the black pieces chasing this historic record against the world champion himself. The stage was set, and let me tell you, the game absolutely did not disappoint.
Right from the get-go, Fabi just seemed to be in a class of his own. He completely, and I mean completely, outplayed the champion. He built up this position that the commentators, they could only describe it as an attacker's dream. His plan was so clear, so powerful, just utterly brutal. You could see it unfolding. He launches this pawn storm. He starts bringing in the heavy artillery. Everything was geared up for this direct, overwhelming assault on Gukesh's king. It honestly looked completely unstoppable.
And on the other side of the board, the world champion's position was just collapsing. His pieces were all tangled up, they're getting pushed back, they can't coordinate at all. You know it's bad when the commentary team points out that your own bishop is basically acting more like interference than a piece that's supposed to be helping you.
So at this point, Fabi has a completely, totally winning position. History is right there, in his hands. All he has to do is find that final knockout punch.
And he's not even in desperate time trouble yet. He's got several minutes on the clock. But he's facing this critical decision. So, what's the move? What's the move that wins it all and seals the record?
Well, the computer analysis is, crystal clear. It screams that there was one move, Queen H5, that just would have ended the game, right then and there. It creates these unstoppable mating threats. Game over. But he didn't play it. Instead, under all that insane pressure, Fabio played Rook G8. And the commentators, they nailed it. They called it a blitzer's move. It looks good, it keeps the pressure on, for sure, but it wasn't the killer blow. And that was the one tiny crack the world champion needed.
And this is where you really see the difference between a great player and a world champion. Gukesh, who is basically dead in the water just a move ago, he immediately senses his chance. He sees that crack in the door.
In his interview after the game, Gukesh really put it perfectly. He said for a long time he was just trying to survive. But then, after that one small mistake from Fabi, he said he saw some chances. And boy, did he fight back. He unleashes this series of just incredible defensive and counterattacking moves.
And you can see it right here. The whole evaluation of the game just flips on its head. It's dramatic. In basically a single move, Fabi's almost 100% certain victory, poof, it just evaporates as Gukesh claws his way right back into the game.
The comeback was just swift. Now both players are getting super low on time, and Gukesh is just on fire. He's finding a series of only moves, the kinds of moves you have to find to stay alive.
He's complicating everything, creating new threats, and basically forcing Fabi to solve impossible puzzles with just seconds left on his clock. And in those frantic final moments, that crazy time scramble, Gukesh doesn't just save the game, he doesn't just get a draw. He actually goes on to win. It was, without a doubt, one of the most stunning, most dramatic turnarounds of the entire tournament.
Now, to be clear, Fabiano Caruana still finished in clear first place. It was a fantastic result, and it helped his overall tour chances immensely. But that record was denied. And instead of having this massive, comfortable 3-point lead going into the Blitz, his lead was suddenly cut down to just 1 point.
You know, the commentary team summed it up best. Chess is brutal. And this game was the perfect example of that. It captured that dual nature of competition at the very top. You have the highest triumph and the deepest heartbreak, and it was all decided in one single chaotic game.
And it just leaves you wondering, you know? It raises this fascinating question about what it really takes to compete at that absolute elite level. How can one single moment, just one decision under unimaginable pressure, be that razor-thin line that separates a historic, legendary achievement from a painful, unforgettable loss?